Now, I've told you there are three independent but complementary techniques. One is group testing, psychological testing, and personal interview. We generally saw what they are. By the time you finish the course, you'll get tired of these three names: GTO, group testing officer, psychologist, and interviewing officer. We'll see these three of them. Now, the nature of job is very, very different, very difficult. We heard what Andesh told us about uh, Vikram Batra. I mean, people have to go through a lot of difficult times. And to make sure that you're capable of going through those difficult times, there's a detailed, thorough, and foolproof system which is followed for selecting. So, what this tells you is just in case you don't make the cut, you don't get selected, you don't have to feel dejected at all. Probably you do not have those qualities which they are looking for you, but you have qualities that will make you Bill Gates, that will make you Steve Jobs. I mean, they are not looking for guys who are loners, who only talk to themselves, who are not socially adaptable. ऐसे लोगों को reject कर देंगे, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि they are not fit for anything else. So don't get that wrong. If you not fit for, if you don't have these qualities, so be it. We have so many other qualities which will take us forward. So keep that in mind, right? And you'll be tested under stressful, unfamiliar, and leaderless situations. See these three words. I'm sorry, I forgot to put a comma after stressful. There'll be stressful, unfamiliar, and leaderless situations. Now, this is what will bring your mental fitness into action. You have to be mentally fit to solve or to be acting in those situations. So what you should do, you should right from now onwards start working or see looking at situations in your college, in your home, in your office, or in your place of work, or wherever you are, whether you can find yourself useful in a situation where nobody else is able to ascertain themselves and become a leader. Now, I mean, let's say it's very unfortunate though, if there is a small accident somewhere and there are 10 people who are passing by that accident. What do? Very simple. They pull out their mobile phones and start taking video. Nobody is trying to help the guy who's lying there. Is somebody saying, okay, you call the ambulance, okay, you go and get a glass of water, okay, you pull that scooter away. Is anybody doing that? No. Everybody is probably trying to stay away from that. So these are the opportunities that you get. They will not tell you and come. They will come apne aap, and you have to get into action. That's where you are. So the assessors, the three guys that I talked about, draw the personality profile of the candidate based on the 15 OLQs, right? Let's see what are these 15 OLQs. Now, I've divided this. Does anybody have any doubts so far? Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask me if there's anything that you want to ask me at any point of time. Great. Now, we're talking about the 15 OLQs. First group of OLQs is called the mental group of OLQs. We'll see the rest of the groups. But today, we're going to talk in a little amount of detail about the mental group of OLQs, right? Now, there are four of them. One is effective intelligence. What does that mean? It is ability of a person to evolve solutions to practical problems. He's not asking you theoretical problems. He's asking you practical problems. And most of the problems that will be thrown at you during the SSB are all those which are common day-to-day problems. Like you're going in a bus and you want to buy a ticket and you put your hand in your pocket and you find your purse is missing. What do you do? So those kind of practical problems is what will be thrown at you, and whether you will come across solutions in a logical manner. Everything revolves around how logical you are, how comfortable you are in handling a situation without getting panic. You should not get panic, because the moment you show panicky attitude, that means you have lost the battle there. So, ability of a person to evolve solutions to practical problems, reasoning ability of a person to grasp a given situation and arrive at the conclusion by rational thinking. I told you about logic. So remember, logic, see, if you look at a situation where you will come across something called a group planning exercise, you are going out to perform a task. On the way to task, you are thrown at some problems, practical problems, which can be easily solved. Lot of people solve those problems, but forget to proceed to complete the original task they were planning to do. So Your original task has failed, whereas you have done some subsidiary or some small tasks in between. So what should you remember? You should remember that you should solve the small tasks en route, but make sure that you go and solve the original problems for which you have started your journey. So this is the reasoning ability that has to come up. And organizing ability. That is to use the resources systematically to produce the desired results. Remember everything, anytime in life, every time in life, if at all there is a shortage, there will be shortage of resources. Resources could be in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of material, in terms of man, whatever. There will always be a shortage of resources. If there were plenty of resources, where was the problem of organizing everything? You say, यार 10 रुपए में नहीं आ रहा तो 100 रुपए में खरीदो लगा दो, because पैसे कमी नहीं है. But when the resources are short, you have to make sure that you use them properly. So for making sure you use the resources properly, you should have the capacity to organize whatever resources you have in a systematic and a proper manner. So that is where your organizing ability comes. And last and foremost is the power of expression. It's the ability of somebody to put forward one's ideas with ease and clarity. Now, like I told you, this to me is the most important quality that you should have. It can be on your first day as far as your PPNDT is concerned, or it could be on your last day when you're sitting on in the conference room is concerned. You should be able to express yourself very clearly. And how can you express yourself very clearly? You need two things. Firstly, you should have clarity of mind. कि मैं बताना क्या चाहता हूँ, right? You should have clarity of mind. Second, you should have control or command over the language in which you want to express to the other person. The rest of the things are there: body language, how you look into the guy's eyes, and all those, how your body gestures going on, how your hand gestures. वो सब अलग बात है. But these two things you should have कि भाई मैं बताना क्या चाहता हूँ और क्या मैं उस भाषा में बता सकता हूँ जो आगे को समझ आए. Are you ready to? Are you in a position to explain it properly? And also should be clear about what you want to express, right? So these are the 4 OLQs that we're going to talk about today. Now, does anybody want to give any example or anything like that to take this forward? Anybody? Okay. So the most important thing that you should remember is a lot of most important things I'm telling you. The most important thing that you should remember is become participative. Don't be a listener. Not here, not anywhere else in life. Don't be a participant who's only listening. Be a participant who contributes, who speaks. जो भी मन में आया बोलो. जरूरी नहीं है कि I'm speaking right or somebody else is speaking wrong. Whatever you want to speak, just speak. You should speak. You have to participate. You have to contribute. Then only you'll learn. Otherwise, any amount of effort will go waste. Like Vijay Garu told you on the first day, you can take a horse to a pond, but the horse has to decide whether it wants to drink water or not. Nobody is going to force it. Nobody can force it to drink water. You have to express yourself, right? Okay. Now that I didn't hear any examples or any contribution from your side, let me tell you. Now, today, I'm sure all of you are aware, is Ram Navami. So, firstly, very happy Ram Navami to you. And as I was preparing this on the day of the Ram Navami, I thought, why not take an example from Ramayana itself, where you will see all these qualities overflowing one another in such a beautiful way. I'm only talking about the 4 qualities now. When you go to the rest of the 11, we'll see how the all those 11 qualities can be seen in Ramayana. I want to cover that area or that portion of the Ramayana where uh, Sita has been abducted by Ravan, and Ram has gone in search of Sita, and he has met with the ape, entered the ape kingdom, met Vali, Sugriva, and of course met Hanuman also. And Hanuman goes to Lanka in search of Sita, and story after that. Is everybody familiar with the story, or is somebody not familiar with the story?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy. Yeah, participate at least. Yes, sir. तो जोर से बोल ही सकते हैं because रामायण का story सबको मालूम है. Right. Now, effective intelligence. Now, if you look at the person to evolve solutions to practical problems throughout the journey, I'm looking at the journey of Hanuman after he takes off. After he takes off, uh, before that, Sugriva sends all his entire army in 10 different directions to look for Sita. Right? Now, practical problem is finding Sita. Everybody knows, he has been told by Jatayu and everybody that Ravan has taken her to the south. But he did not send everybody to the south. He sent the major force to the south, but he sent people in all the other 9 directions to see if Ravan has kept Sita anywhere else other than the country to which he took, or to his land, to his kingdom to which he took. So that is where his effective intelligence is coming up. And then if you look at reasoning ability, and he has to come to rational thinking. He has to reason out whether he can reach there or not. Now, when Hanuman is told that you please cross the ocean, he just jumped and he said, okay, I will cross. And during his journey, there were so many incidents where he had to use his logic, use his reasoning. There is a Rakshas which comes in front of him in the midst of his journey, who says, I have a boon from Brahma. Anybody who comes in front of me has to enter my mouth. So both the Rakshas and Hanuman keep growing in size. And one moment, Hanuman becomes as small as a fly, enters the mouth of the Rakshas and comes out and say, okay, your boon given by Brahma has been met. So he's used logical thinking. He used his common sense. He was under a lot of pressure. There was no leader for him at the time. He was just told to go. He started. The situation is unfamiliar. He's never flown over oceans before. But he has taken the responsibility of flying, and he is shown that he has this particular quality of a leader. And if you look at the organizing ability, can there be a better organizing system than the bridge that was constructed by the Vanaras during the war, when all the Vanaras crossed across? Can there be any more better organizing ability? We're talking about ages. I mean, I don't know how many ages back. And most important is the power of expression. See, we are looking at those creatures who are not as evolved as what human beings are. But they were conveyed the instructions in such a way that they obeyed, they behaved in a manner that they were supposed to behave, to construct that bridge, to go across that bridge, and to fight an enemy who had more power, who was physically more strong, who was mentally more strong. But why did that happen? Because the expression that was taking, the power of expression was so strong with the leaders there that they could convey it to the apes or to the monkeys to do what exactly they were supposed to do. So have you got the idea of what planning and organizing actually means? Does anybody want to add any story or any anecdote or any incident of Ramayana into any of this?
Sir, sir, in reasoning ability, hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Please talk.
In reasoning ability, we can take that example of Lakshmana also, no, sir?
Yeah, you can take whatever example.
Sita will tell that.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
Sita will tell us to Lakshmana to go and find out the Rama. Rama is in the what is that?
The Rama
is in trouble, and find out the Rama and take him safely to Hut, etc. Like that. He give the particular reason to don't move from there, because the Ravan will come and he will take Sita and something.
A very, very good example. I love the example. And who is this speaking? I'm sorry, I'm not able to get the names of the people who are speaking.
This is Teja, sir.
Okay. Teja, don't mind.
Yes, sir. But I can't explain it properly.
No, you need to work on your English, Teja. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You need to work on your English. I'm sure you'll improve. Don't worry. I'm very happy you're participating. I'm very happy you're trying to tell what you want to tell. Excellent example. Now, when there was some reason that he tried to reason it out with Sita, trying to tell her, Ma, I don't want to leave here alone and go. My brother Rama is capable of fighting with anybody. the Lord himself. But Sita, because of her anxiety, says, no, no, you have to go. And that's the time he makes a circle and asks her not to come out. Beautiful example. Yeah, anybody else? Anything else? No? I thought a lot of people will jump and give an example. Okay, right. Don't worry, you'll open up as time progresses. Okay. Now, these are the 4 qualities that I am looking at you as far as planning and organizing. So, any activity that you need to do, your mom wants you to go and get vegetables, you have to go through these 4 things. If you can't do these 4 things, you can't get vegetables also for your mom, right? Okay. Now, what